So we already tested the Xiaomi Redmi 4A and now we tested the Redmi 4 Prime, the top-end model of the Redmi 4 lineup. We used it as a daily driver for a couple of weeks. I'm Christopher for ChinaMobileMag. Enjoy this review. So the package contents aren't that different from the phone's cheaper brother. There is some paperwork, power supply, USB cable and SIM needle. The power supply is a bit more powerful at 2 amps output. The design looks a lot more premium than on the Redmi 4A. The Redmi 4 Prime is made entirely from metal except that little plastic cap on the upper rear of the phone. This makes the phone look and feel very premium and sturdy. Design-wise, the phone does remind us a little of Echo phones, especially on the front. Why? Well, likely the black frame around the screen is the reason. But really, we aren't annoyed by it since you get used to that frame quickly. That doesn't mean that the phone wouldn't look better without though. For the screen glass, Xiaomi makes use of 2.5D glass, which means that the glass has a curved edge. This looks and feels pretty nice. Above the screen, there is a real RGB status LED which can light up in all colors. Touch buttons below the screen are not illuminated, thus invisible in darkness. On the left side we find the SIM tray, which is nicely built and takes either one micro and nano SIM card or one micro SD card. On the right side we find the hardware keys and all of them don't rattle. The lower side houses a micro USB jack in between openings for the mic and speaker. On the top there is an infrared blaster, an environmental microphone and a 3.5mm jack. The Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime is very sturdy and can't be bent even with a lot of force. That comes surprising since the phone is only 8.8mm thick despite having a very large battery built inside. The weight at 160 grams is a little on the heavy side for a 5-incher but still okay. Screen did surprise us a lot since it offers incredibly intense colors. To be honest, it sometimes is a little bit too much since blue and red often looks overdrawn. Contrast of the screen is very good and sharpness is too, which doesn't come as a surprise since the panel runs at Full HD resolution. Sunlight readability is very good thanks to the high brightness and the automatic brightness control works like a charm. The lowest brightness level is very low and thus perfect for reading at night. The touch panel uses a 10-point digitizer with very good reaction time. The screen glass so far has been totally scratch-proof even when attacking it with keys. The glass is very smooth and fingers glide on it easily and fingerprints aren't attracted too much. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 inside the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime is a pretty fast SoC which in Antutu reaches around 62,000 points. Thus, the SoC can be compared to the all-new MediaTek Helio P20. The Snapdragon 625 is combined with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of memory, which means good performance. The Redmi 4 Prime handles everything buttery smooth, so it's a pleasure to use. Even demanding games are playable. Just on a few of the most demanding games, e.g. Unkilled, on highest graphics settings, you might see a few minor lags. The memory can be expanded using microSD cards. A 128GB card has been recognized with no issues. Unfortunately, there is no way to move apps to the SD card. The Redmi 4 Prime offers a huge amount of sensors, including a gyroscope, compass and even a step counter, which all work flawlessly. The Fingerprint Scanner works great and unlocks the phone within a fraction of a second. The sensor also is very reliable and it almost never fails, which makes it a great way to unlock your phone. The Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime runs MIUI 8 based on Android 6.0.1. Just recently, Xiaomi have released a global ROM for this phone, which offers pre-installed Google Play and multi-language. Most shops, however, still ship it with Chinese or customized ROMs. If your phone comes with a non-original firmware, you should remove it because it won't get any updates, might be buggy and slower, and might even include malicious software. To get rid of the customized shop firmware, you need to put your phone into EDL mode to flash the original Xiaomi firmware through the Mi Flash tool. In our case, we have been able to put the phone into EDL mode by pressing all hardware buttons at once and keep pressing them while the Mi logo shows up. Keep pressing it until it disappears and hold for 3 more seconds. Now release and you should be in EDL mode. In some rare cases, your phone might be shipped with an unlocked bootloader. In this case, you can try flashing the global Xiaomi ROM directly using the MIUI update app or recovery. Reception quality of the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime despite the metal body is excellent. LTE band 20 unfortunately is not supported. Wi-Fi performance has been top-notch during our tests. We reached a bandwidth of more than 100 Mbit per second. During GPS test, the phone reached a fast fix and navigation with Google and Here Maps was working just fine. Tracking using Google Fit, however, we experienced some minor inaccuracy, but no huge issues. The internal speaker doesn't offer as intense basses as on the Redmi 4A since it is placed inside the phone's frame. Anyhow, it still sounds great considering the price tag. The headphone jack delivers a crystal clear sound. A system equalizer is there as well as presets for Xiaomi headphones. Telephony quality is top notch too, the earpiece sounds decent and the noise cancelling works great. The 13 megapixel main camera isn't bad, but comparing it to the Redmi 4A, the camera surprisingly offers a little less quality despite being quite a bit more expensive. It looks like the details at daylight pictures are a tad worse than on the Redmi 4A. Another disappointing thing is that the low-light performance isn't improved too. Despite the higher price tag, it is just as bad as on the Redmi 4A. It basically is impossible to do proper pictures at night even with a tripod. Full HD videos recorded with the Redmi 4 Prime look good and the audio quality is good too. The front camera, as on the Redmi 4A, is not really suitable for shooting selfies since the shots lack detail and look grainy or blurry. Something the Redmi 4 Prime shines with, however, is its battery. Thanks to the 4100 mAh cell, despite offering a much more powerful processor, the Redmi 4 Prime offers a longer battery life than the Redmi 4A. We have been able to reach up to 15 hours of screen on time with lowered screen brightness. Intense usage with maximum screen brightness we still reached around 8 hours. On average, the phone used 6.4% of battery per hour. Charging the 4100 mAh battery takes 2 hours and 47 minutes. That's an acceptable time considering the cell's size, but Qualcomm quick charge support would have been nice to see though. Verdict: the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime is a very decent budget phone with a great build quality, battery life and reception quality. The camera is decent at daylight as well. Disappointing however is the camera's low light performance and the fact that the phone lacks support for Band 20 LTE. Anyhow, at around $160, the phone still is a bargain for all who don't care about these flaws. So that's all for this review. I'm Christopher for CMM, see you in the next one.